In spite of myself, say, somewhat dishevelment, I'm going to do a comedy improv upon today's New York Post, which has very sad news, yet not so sad because the man who passed into the great beyond probably goes to heaven and was a good man for the 100 years he lived. Good man during bad times. I am tend to be a reactionary fellow, but I can appreciate a good liberal, a good leftist. Well, Jimmy Carter was more a decent man than a leftist. I would say in most cases I thought that he was wrong, too naive, too loving to the wrong people. Anyway, Jimmy Carter, this peanut butter, no, the peanut farmer, passed at 100 years old, somewhat after his wife died of said many years since the Second World War. They had been married. Um, After I would say that he was probably one of the most unlucky of the presidents, but the most decent. Uh, he was president during times that were somewhat similar to the times now. High inflation, intractable enemies, bad luck. And at that point, during the Carter presidency, and this is Jimmy Carter, you had a situation where the Russians had invaded Afghanistan. Communism seemed to be on the march, and many states had fallen one after the other to the Soviet or communist threat. It seemed that history was on the side of the collectivists, the dictatorships, the totalitarian regimes. And then there was the rise initially of Islamic fundamentalism, somewhat of a distortion of the Islam, although quite honestly, Islam tends to be somewhat warlike religion. I think being established by a crusading warlord, having a tendency towards that. And many Islam has been at war with itself, let alone its neighbors. Yes. Not that I say that Christendom is perfect. Yeah. Christendom is somewhat confusing. Yeah. Established by a pacifist and then adapted by pagans. I like Christianity. I like, actually, I worship Odin, Zeus, and Apotheon, different gods, as you can see back there. I even leave a little room on the shelf for the Yahweh and Mr. Ale. Anyway, let's get into my religious beliefs. My tendency to talk about myself. Frequent. The peanut butter man has died. A decent man. He built houses for the homeless. Yes. And he crusaded for the poor. I don't think there is one president, any president, was a more decent man in his personal life than Jimmy Carter. Maybe a little too naive for this harsh world. Anyway, Jimmy's gone now. On to the great reward. Those atheists don't think that. I think he's gone to the great anon and nothingness. Poppycock, Bologna. Cuomo not in Kate's corner. Now, usually I don't go for Mr. Cuomo, the great gooser that he goosed women who didn't want to be goosed. And an open doesn't need to be goosed. Although, as quite honestly, he collected a harem of women who potentially he could goose. Sexual harassment was um second nature to the man. But I wouldn't fault him on that. He's Italian. I'm 1/5 Italian, and that just doesn't come the day I don't think about goosing someone. I keep it under control. I know the times don't lend themselves to goosing. Anyway, but I blame them. He actually let people into the hospitals who had COVID into old folks' homes, which I think, was he trying to kill the old folks? Does he like the old folks? But he was a stubborn man. He knew he made the mistake, but he had full respect. He could not back out of his situation. He could not admit that he was wrong. So God knows how many people died. And that's what I hold against him. Not the goosing. Who wouldn't goose if they had air? I think we should, if you have an office, you said goosing is allowed here. Don't let those radical feminists influence things. Not sexual assault, goosing. Or grabbing at the inappropriate things. But he did it to his gods, his female gods, which is sexy, yet dangerous, and it was dangerous subsequently. I think he passed somebody's belly. He touched it. Oh, look at you, and said something lewd. Or a dumbbell entendre. So anyway, what Kay is doing is she's trying to put an extra tax on people who come in from Staten Island and New Jersey. I think this is an affront to the bridge and tunnel people. No, I'm not a bridge and tunnel person. If I had abandoned my home in Manhattan, I would be. And those are my people, exiled to Staten Island, and now exiled away from New York. We might as well live in Toledo. All we could do. Oh, woman, has Botox in your face frozen your brain? Governor of New York. The red, the heroes of my youth are back. Psychopathic, violent people take over the subways, slashing and burning and murdering. Out from the ashes of history, from the heroes of my youth, the guardian angels, led by the great Sliwa. Future mayor of New York, I tell you. Yes, they are a bit grayer now. Old men, good men, and like 100,000 pennies. So I'm talking about that Marine hero who killed the crazed Michael Jackson impersonator. Guardian angels will be guarding us as angels do. Oh, Mr. Curtis Lewa, you're going to rescue me. If I was ever foolish enough to go in the subway, you say, Mr. Clay, don't be so bad and evil. You're not just schizophrenic, you're schizophrenic evil. And Curtis and the gang will drive you away in his red beret, like a trumper should every day. Ah, yes. What's this say? What's mm, ah, ah, this is madness. A man who assassinated a corporate head. And I'm not saying that man at the corporate head was an angel. No, 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 no. He probably was guilty of crimes, little corporate crimes. But to be shot in the back by an assassin. And then that assassin, that crazed assassin, which I believe he's mad, you know. I think the bad back drove him insane. Yes, he was beautiful. It is beautiful, aesthetically beautiful, attractive, had the right politics, came from a rich family, good looking. Even I, incredibly heterosexual, say that is a beautiful man. Yet he had a back injury. That back injury was constant, as I have a back injury. It drove him mad. He became a vigilante of such to avenge himself on thin, greedy corporate heads. A movement started around a small company or a left-wing company began taking names of corporate heads and bugs and a religion seemed to grow around this man, this hero in some eyes. Yeah. And now, apparently, everybody who looks like him is getting dates with models. What madness is this world come to? You shouldn't kill anybody unless they authentically kill you. I don't mean directly. You can rationalize killing, dare I say it, men who make podcasts that annoy you. Of course, there would be a conspiracy against Nostrovia. But I have angels to guard me. The guardian angels were the real thing. I say to thee, don't mess with me. Well, there are supernatural forces protecting me, keeping me safe from the bad people. That's right, bad people. Redhead, what's going on? Yeah, because he's just good looking. He gets all the girls around. That's right. Gaza the evil busted. The Gazans had a bad person who was in charge of the hospitals, and he's a terrorist. And he's hiding behind the good people. You can't do that. You can't do that. Hide and be okay. Or maybe he's just a man caught in the middle of a protracted war between Israel and the Palestinians. Some say there should be negotiations, but the Palestinians have gone and done something in a microcosm that is an evil act. That's part of the strategy. The Israelis, I don't say they're saints. They will not march with the saints that come marching in because they do not recognize Jesus. And you can only be a saint if you are a Christian. Oh, and those things. Do I know what will solve the problem in the Middle East? I think that the God of Christendom was a mixture of Jesus and pagans, and Allah must make a stand. Tell everybody, Allah, you misinterpret. You stop it. Perhaps a demonstration in front of the Vatican, Mecca, Jerusalem. Unequivocally, that could only happen with supernatural divine power. Ah, that would Bigfoot. Ah, some people think that Bigfoot is a myth. Apparently, people were looking for Bigfoot, and then the weather turned deadly. Perhaps we shouldn't pursue supposed mythical monsters of the woods. So who knows that maybe Bigfoot has power over the elements, the very weather. Yes, the very weather we experience. The wind and the rain and the cold. Oh, I can do. Ah, I could have told you that. Red-headed women, my mother was a redhead, and a beautiful Amazon called Erica Lux was a redhead, have higher brain thresholds, 25%, than the rest of the population, men or women. Oh, there's a picture of her. Where is she? Erica Lux. The strongest woman I ever met. She lifted me, all 300 pounds at the time, had me jump on her back, gave me a piggyback ride. A man of my girth and weight, woman was excellently built, like a goddess. But I've lost contact, and it was many years ago. Who knows where Erica is now? Who knows? Married? Yes. No longer picking up people, literally as well as figuratively. The quest for, I don't know. Let us leave it on Erica's superhuman strength. Because she was real strong, she powerful. I felt safe around her. Erica Locke, strongest woman in the world. Erica Locke, why can't you give me a twirl? Erica Locke, I'll lose weight for you. Will you wrestle me one day? It's true. Oh, yeah, I gotta go now. Got to go now, my friends. Got to go. Memories of the misty mother of the way we were. Can it be?